What's up everyone, this is Mekel Kasanova back at you with another video. This review was supposed to have gone out last week, but you know, life happens. I've been busy doing adult stuff, and also today is my birthday. I just turned 30. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and review another game from NIS America, and this time it's from the fabled Disgaea series. And this is Disgaea 1 Complete Edition for the Nintendo Switch, and shout out to NIS America for sending it over to me to review. And it's really amazing that I had this opportunity to do this, to live this childhood dream, and to think I am now at 30 and I'm looking at what I'm doing now, and 15 to 20 something years ago I never would have imagined it being possible. But with that being said, we're going to find out if this game is good or not, because for some it may be, it could be, possibly, we don't know. We're going to find out in this video. So let's go ahead and hop in and find out if it's worth your money. Disgaea 1 follows the story of Prince Laharl, a blue-haired headstrong demon that is woken up by Etna, a sneaky red-headed demon after a nap spanning across several years. With Laharl's father, the Overlord, King Krichevskoy, King K, I'm gonna say it that way. I struggle pronouncing his name, passing away 2 years ago, with almost everyone forgetting about him in his sleep. The title for Overlord of the Netherworld is now up for grabs, and it is Laharl's goal to prove that he is the rightful owner of his old man's title. Naturally, there are all kinds of twists and turns in there, not least of which involving Laharl's heritage and the impact that this has on him. Disgaea offers a fairly lengthy story, despite the actual moments of story exposition being brief by comparison to the later titles. There's just so many levels to play through that you get to know all the characters quite well. Disgaea is best played, in my opinion, in Japanese, and that's because the English voice acting, it does come from a time and era where English voice acting and actors were, for anime, they tend to lean on the bit of the grating side, not compared to what they are now, but back then it was kind of rough, let's just put it that way. But otherwise, the game still retains the franchise's trademark sense of humor and less than subtle inversion of fairy tale tropes. The gameplay is formatted in a turn-based isometric staged RPG. The player will be pitted against a set of enemies as they play through each level on the chapter stage. You can set each of the unit or move each of the units a set amount of places, and throw your other units, attack your enemies with basic attacks and specials. You can also do it to your own units, and use items. However, as this is a strategic game, be careful with your choices, as once you've moved and done any action besides defending yourself, that unit will no longer be able to act for that turn. There's the ability to level up equipment in every piece of equipment, even when it has the same name. It often will have different characteristics and boosts. Messing around in the menus and trying to maximize the strength of your combat team requires a great deal of time and investment. And while some will find it all too finicky to bother with, it's genuinely enjoyable to see it all click together. Now, from your hub world, you'll be able to access the weapon shop, armor shop, hospital, item world, and dark assembly. The weapon and armor shop lets you purchase weapons, armor, health items, and thieving items. With the hospital, you can heal your units' HP and SP, and you're actually rewarded with equipment and items for getting beat up so much. Now, Disgaea 1 Complete looks as good as any Disgaea title has looked, which has nicely detailed characters and colorful environments. The only area where it is limited in comparison to the later titles is in the special attacks. Nippon Ichi have become a lot more creative with these in the years since, and it's a pity that the team didn't use the remaster as an opportunity to put a couple new ones in there just for the sake of variety. Now, while the game is very easy to grasp and learn, there are some things that are very strange, especially as someone who is playing the first game for the first time. There aren't very clear-cut introductions into some of the mechanics, such as the item world, whereas in future games they change this by not allowing the player to access the item world until they've understood a bit of the game. However, the item world is opened up from the start, and it's actually pretty difficult because of the lack of an escape. As you progress in the early chapters, you'll be required to go to the item world in order to progress. You'll be given a Mr. Jinsei exit, which allows you to escape the item world in between stages. The one major gripe that affects the entire game as well is honestly the pacing. Not in terms of the story, but in terms of the game itself. See, your movement or your cursor movement is pretty slow, whereas Disgaea 5 allowed you to make it extremely fast. You know, you have the option to let battle and special animations play out or they're skipped, but you can't skip them with the press of a button, even if you wanted to watch some of the animation and not all of it. The pacing of other animations such as the bonus gauge is also very slow, and you can't act as it feels up. So if you destroy some geo panels and cause a lot of damage, expect to also be waiting a few more seconds to get back into the gameplay. Now, if you played Disgaea 1 in the past and enjoy the way that the game is, I would say definitely pick it up. The fact that you can take it on the go with you on the Switch is a definite step up from having to wait to get home and play it. And if you're interested in where the series started, I would also say to pick this up. The Disgaea series doesn't have enough continuity from one title to the next to say that you must play Disgaea 1 before taking a crack at the later games in the series. But all the Disgaea titles, Disgaea 1 is the least likely to overwhelm people who aren't familiar or deeply familiar with the tactics JRPGs and complex JRPG systems. For this reason, this remaster is the perfect entry point for the curious and anyone interested in the history and heritage of this franchise. Now, as you guys know, I usually say a game is either Kasanova approved, which means go out and buy it, or I give it a raving of pass. This game is Kasanova approved, so you should definitely go out and pick it up. It may not be for everyone, but I think a lot more than enough will definitely enjoy it. Kasanova approved. Alright, and wrapping up this review, I want to thank NIS America for sending me, again, another amazing game. I've really enjoyed Disgaea 1. I like the Disgaea franchise. Sure, it can be a little chatty at times and too much dialogue, but I really don't mind that. You know, I like games that have a creative take on a franchise, or not a franchise, but a creative take on a style of game that I like. And I like tactical RPGs, and so this takes very creative take on that. And I followed the Disgaea series from its origin to now. So I'm really happy with Disgaea 5, which came out last year, and I'm really enjoying this one. I think it's a really good game, and maybe not for everyone, but definitely something I like, and I think a lot of you out there who like tactical RPGs would definitely love it. Now, with that being said, why don't you guys tell me what you think down in the comment section below. If you like this video, if you like this game, let us know. If you didn't, hey, your prerogative, voice your opinion. That being said, catch you on the next one. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe on this video, and let's grow the channel more. And also, if you're on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, or Spotify, or TuneIn Radio, make sure you tune in to the Kasanova podcast. It's amazing. I'm super excited. So with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one. Deuces wild, too sweet, be the elite. And I'll see you on the next one.